Have you ever felt overwhelmed by life's chaos? Like, no matter how hard you try, you just can't stay in control of your life. Bro, I have been there too. But after practicing Stoicism for over 10 whole years, I've learned some powerful lessons that have taught me how to stay in control of my life, which has allowed me to move my life in the direction I want it to go. So if you're struggling with this, man, I've got answers. And trust me, these aren't things you're gonna hear every day. So make sure to stick around, because I'm about to share with you insights that will change your life. Bro, let me ask you, how many times have you thought you were in control of your life? You set your goals, you got your plans, and things are starting to look up, only to eventually feel like everything's just slipping through your fingers. It's frustrating, right? We've all been there. And that's exactly why the first lesson I'm gonna talk to you about is that we don't actually have direct control over our lives, even though we might think we do. And I know this might seem counterintuitive, especially after I just said Stoicism helps me take control of my life. But here's the truth. Gaining direct control over your life is impossible. Why? Because there are countless variables influencing the outcomes we experience every single day. And you just can't control every little thing. But what you can do is gain indirect control. You gain indirect control by consistently focusing on what's actually in your power. And this is a cornerstone of Stoicism, distinguishing between what's within our control and what isn't. For example, we can't directly control whether we'll become billionaires, have perfect health, or be the most attractive person in the room. But what we can control are the steps we take to improve in these areas. It's hard to say, but the harsh reality is that we may not always reach our goals. But by doing this, we sure as hell can get close. And for some of us, go even farther. For me personally, this was a big shift Stoicism taught me, because for a long time, I was all about focusing on the future instead of the now. Which, to be honest, I'm still getting better. You know, I've had to learn to stop obsessing over the destination and start focusing on the journey, because the journey is where all the growth and transformation actually happens. For instance, if we're gonna apply this to me, instead of obsessing over my subscriber count on YouTube, which is obviously outside of my control, I focus on consistently getting better and creating high quality, engaging content, which is in my control, and obviously indirectly leads to more subscribers. You see what I did there? Instead of focusing on something that's outside of my control, like subscriber count, I'm focusing on something that is within my control, like making better videos. And here's another example. Instead of fixating on making a specific amount of money each month, I now focus on learning and applying strategies to earn more money. You see the difference? When you stop putting energy into things you can't control and start channeling it into things you can, you gain real power over your life. And this is powerful, guys. So you should start doing this now. Where have you been putting your focus into things you can't control? Recognize this and start shifting your focus into things you can control. By doing this, you're gonna start seeing how much control you actually have in your life. How often do you feel like your life is spinning out of control? Because things keep changing when you don't want them to. If you're like most people, you probably say a lot. That's why the next lesson you're gonna hear is so important. The next lesson is about change. Simply put, change is inevitable. When you really break down Stoicism, it's all about minimizing how much external circumstances affect you. Stoicism helps you build a mental barrier of sorts that basically protects your internal world from everything outside of your control, which are almost always things outside of you. And that's why understanding that change is inevitable. And that's why understanding that change is inevitable is one of the foundational lessons of Stoicism. Just think about it. Has there ever been one thing in your life that has stayed the same?
Several days later.
I'm waiting. If you're honest with yourself, the answer is no. In fact, the only constant in life is change. That's why it's actually so important to let go of your attachments. Your attachments to circumstances, emotions, possessions, ideas, desires. They're all going to change. Even your identity is going to change. Who you were a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, if you were to meet that person right now, you would be like, damn, I'm completely different. So whether your life is amazing or terrible today, tomorrow is going to be different. And unfortunately, for a lot of people, this truth is scary, because as humans, we naturally crave control. We want to know what's going to happen next, and we want to make sure that we can influence what's going to happen next. And I don't know about you, but to me at least, there's something freeing about letting go and just going with the flow of life itself. Instead of knowing what's going to happen, all you have to do is just simply let go, start doing what you love, and pay attention to the things that you actually have control over. Everything else, let that happen as it needs to. At a basic level, this is exactly what Stoicism is trying to teach you. When you stop resisting change and you start accepting it, you start to find peace in the unpredictability. So here's what I've learned with this. Start letting go of your attachments. If something doesn't happen the way you want it to, bro, just take a deep breath and remind yourself, this too shall pass, just like everything else, whether it's a setback or a triumph. change is going to come. And with it, new opportunities. Embracing this mindset is going to help you stay grounded no matter what life throws at you. Now, if you have any brief questions, put them in the comments below. And if you're really serious and you want me to personally help you out with any issues you're having trouble with, sign up for a free 15-minute consultation with me, man. Also, if you want a free ebook that I made to specifically help you reach your goals quicker, make sure to sign up for my email list. You can find the links to both of these in the description and the pinned comment down below. How many times have you felt stuck in a situation? Like no matter what you do, you just can't win. What if I told you the issue may not even be about the situation itself, but how you're looking at it? That's why the next lesson I'm going to teach you about Stoicism is this: perception is everything. By now, you've probably realized from the first two lessons that Stoicism is heavily focused on consciously changing your focus. And that's no coincidence. There's incredible power in your focus. So much that with it, you can literally create the version of reality you want to start experiencing. I really want to hammer it home to you guys that your focus shapes your reality. And if you're skeptical, just think about the way the world works. You might think the world runs on money, but money is just an after effect of what the world actually runs on: conscious focus. The people who consistently choose to focus on things that help them grow, thrive, while those who focus on negativity, distractions, or self-destructive habits stagnate. Here's the thing: if you started consciously focusing only on what you want to see, experience, and create, your life would start to transform. It wouldn't be perfect overnight, of course, but the momentum would start to build, and you'd start to notice things changing for the better. This is what I did. I used to be extremely negative, and I used to focus on things that kept me in that state. But I realized that I needed to change, and one of the first steps I took to change was changing what I was focusing on. Most of us won't do this though. Why? Because our world is built to compete for our focus. This isn't easy. When you really try to change your focus, you start to see how hard it actually is. I mean, just look around you. Everything from social media to advertisements is designed to distract you and divert your focus to things that don't actually serve you most of the time. This is why learning Stoicism is so powerful, because it teaches you to guard your focus like your life fucking depends on it, because it basically does. By choosing where to direct your focus, you can start to take control of how you perceive your circumstances and ultimately how you experience life. So I want you to ask yourself, man, are you actually focusing on what helps you grow, or are you letting distractions control your life? Which one is it? How often do you really take the time to step back and reflect on your life? If you feel like you're stuck in the same cycles, unable to gain control, this might be the reason. That's why the next lesson is so crucial. Review your life. In my opinion, this is one of the most important things I've learned in over 10 years of practicing Stoicism. Reviewing my life consistently has been a game changer. To be honest, it's probably changed my life because it made me aware of the patterns holding me back. I mean, if I hadn't started this habit, I probably would still be doing some of those same patterns that were holding me back so long ago. And I wouldn't be here to help you. That's why this is so valuable. When you start reviewing your life, you begin to see the cycles you're stuck in, the habits and behaviors that are keeping you from what you want by causing you to self-sabotage yourself without you even realizing it. You also start catching the mind games your brain plays on you. You start seeing how your ego tricks you into procrastinating, how it tricks you into rationalizing bad choices, and how it causes you to cling to your comfort zone so you don't grow and ultimately do the things you really want to do. So let me tell you, nothing in your life will change until you face those cycles head on. So if you've been waiting for something to happen in your life in order for it to change, you're gonna be waiting till the day you die, bro. The real truth you need to hear is that you need to be that something if you want your life to change right now. Not to mention that when you start consistently reviewing your life, you also start getting good at consistently doing something most people are terrible at doing: holding themselves accountable. Most people never review their lives, so they keep making the same mistakes over and over and over again without even realizing it. This is how someone can get to the age of 40, 50, and even 60 and start having a midlife crisis, realizing that they wasted their whole life doing things they hate. You don't want to be that person. So by consistently reflecting on your actions, you build a stronger relationship with yourself, which enables you to start trusting yourself more. And when you trust yourself more, you start to feel more confident, you start to feel more happy, you start to enjoy doing things because you believe in yourself. So take the time to review your days, weeks, and months. Ask yourself, what am I doing well? Where am I slipping? What can I change? These small moments of reflection will completely transform the way you approach your life. Trust me, bro, this is one lesson you can't afford to skip if you really do want to transform your life. And to make sure you don't skip this lesson, I'm gonna direct you to this video next, where I go over exactly how to review your life to transform your life.